Hello, my name is Rituparna Ghosh and I welcome you to Golpo, my storytelling podcast where I share stories that have picked me. Yes, stories really choose me. Is this a podcast for children or adults? If you have a heart beating for stories, then this one is for you. So sit back and listen. Let the story choose you. Today's story is called Truth and Story. There are many versions of this one, but the one that I'm going to tell you today is written by Irish storyteller Liz Weir. Here we go. Long, long ago, there was an old woman, and she was walking across a field. You could tell from the way she was walking that she had been walking for a long time. Her clothes were torn and muddled, her hair greasy and plastered to the side of her head, and her face was a mass of sores. After some time, she came to a town and she walked up to the very first door of the very first house, making her way carefully up the steps. She knocked on the door. A young woman answered the door and addressed her haughtily. "Yes, what do you want?" "Oh," said the old woman, "I have been traveling for a long time, and I was hoping to stop somewhere to rest and maybe get something to eat or drink. We have nothing to spare or share in this house. Move on." So that is what the old woman did. But at the next house, she met the same thing. "No," said the next young woman to her, "we have nothing to spare. Go away." And on it went, from house to house, until she was so exhausted that she sat down at the dried-up old fountain in the middle of the town square to take her ease and gather her strength before she would travel on again. As she was sitting there, she heard a sound resonating through the air, the sound of a galloping horse. Then she heard another sound, the sound of every window on every house being flung open, and she looked up to see all the men and women of the houses staring out of the window with great smiles and eyes full of expectation. They were staring up the one road that led to the town towards the sound of a galloping horse. So the old woman looked too. She saw a young, handsome man with a long, flowing cape sitting atop a large black horse. He rode into the town square, and before his horse had even stopped, the women were running out from their houses with platters of their best food and goblets of their best wine, and they were fighting with each other to be the first to offer him some of their fine hospitality. Well, the old woman watched all of this with great interest. She wondered who the young man was. She waited until the hubbub had died down before approaching him. Being so small, she had to tug on his trouser leg to get his attention. Tug, tug. The young man looked down. "Yes." "Can I ask you something?" said the old woman. "Of course," said the young man. "Are you the king?" The young man looked abashed. "Me? The king? No, I'm not the king." "Oh." "Tug, tug." "Yes." "Are you the landlord? You own all these houses, perhaps." "Me? No, I don't own anything." "Oh." "Tug, tug again." "Yes." "Are you somebody's son, and you have been away for a long time, and you have just returned?" "No," said the young man. "I'm not that either. Why do you ask?" "Well," said the old woman, "I am a traveler like you, and when I arrived, no one gave me refuge, no one offered me food or drink. They all drove me from their doorsteps. But you arrive, and they run from their houses to be the first to offer you all the food and drink you could ever want. So I am just wondering, who are you? What is your name?" The young man paused. "Ah," he said, "that. Well, my name is Story. Everywhere I go, everyone wants to see me, because everyone wants to hear what I have to say. Why, who are you? What is your name?" The old woman paused. "Ah," she said, "that. Well, my name is Truth. You see, everywhere I go, no one wants to see or know me. Everyone closes the door in my face." The young man thought for a moment and said, "Do you see my fine long cape?" "I do," said the old woman. "And do you see my fine big horse?" "I do." "Well, you could hide up here on my horse under my cape, and we could travel the world together. And whenever I get food, you'll get food. And whenever I get wine, you'll get wine." "That is an excellent idea. And that is why every time you hear a real good story, there is a little bit of truth in it." Thank you for listening. Golpo is a storytelling podcast with stories in English, Hindi, and Bangla. If you enjoyed the story and the podcast, drop me a line at contact@yourstorybag.com. Until next time, happy storytelling.